What's going on, guys? Mr. Clasher here. Welcome back to another Clash Royale video. In today's video I'm going to talk about if the Hog Rider is still good inside the game, because the damage has been decreased from the Hog Rider by 6%. Even though it may not sound a lot, I actually noticed a difference. So we're going to talk about if he is still good inside the game or if he's actually still bad. So the first actual battle I'm going to be going up against is the Lava Hound and Hog Rider combo. So I had pretty much no problem going up against that deck, really, and this was my deck that I've been using a long time. But since I heard the Hog Rider was going to get a 6% damage decrease, guys, I actually made a minor deck and I started using that because I saw the Hog Rider got nerfed. And I was like, you know what, I'm not going to use the Hog Rider. It got nerfed. Why am I going to use the Hog Rider? But surprisingly, guys, I still use the Hog Rider. You know what? I'll be using the Hog Rider for a long time. So, this is the same deck that I had, like, I think in the video a long time ago. And I still have this deck created. And it's a really good deck. I would highly recommend it, guys. Definitely a really good deck. And it pretty much stops a lot of attacks, such as the Lava Hound, the Royal Giant. Now, I did switch one minor thing in this deck, guys, and I used to have Fire Spirits, but now I have the Zap spell, because what I learned from having Fire Spirits and not having anything that deals, I guess, damage to Crown Towers is because I have a lot of games where there's like 100 health left, and I don't have a, like a Zap spell, or I don't have anything, guys. So I learned that you kind of need something for the towers just to finish off the last couple of hits, and that's where the Zap spell comes in. And the Zap spell is pretty much like Fire Spirits. It doesn't destroy things, but it, like, one-shots minions, so it pretty much almost destroys them where the tower only has one hit on them. So it's a pretty good spell to use. It's only 2 elixir, so it's pretty cheap. And it restarts Sparky's regeneration time as well. So also, I'm using the cannon as well, guys, with the Hog Rider. So both of these things were nerfed, but guess what, guys, I'm still using both of them because the cannon is still good. I really didn't see a big change in the cannon, even though some people have, and I really haven't noticed a big difference, and I still use the cannon because it's still good. So I'm using actually 2 troops that have been nerfed inside this deck, and I'm still winning with this deck. I'm actually still trophy pushing, and I tried like other decks, like the minor deck. It's just not the same thing as the Hog Rider. I'm honestly, guys, personally, I'm always going to be a Hog Rider fan no matter how many times it gets nerfed. I just love the damn Hog Rider. Like, he's amazing. I don't know, there's something about the Hog Rider. So anyway, there's about 10 seconds left, guys, and I do a pretty big push here so the player doesn't know what to do. And this is where the Zap spell comes in. I zap the Barbarians. Huge actual moment inside the battle, and there we go. The Valak's going to be doing a good amount of damage, and there we go. We got the 1 crown win, so that was pretty solid. I didn't take too much damage on the ride, so that was pretty solid. In the second replay, you guys are going to be seeing is me going up against it looks like a giant wizard combo, and I've seen this deck actually inside Arena 7 when I drop, but it's pretty common in Arena 8. I see this strategy actually quite often, and I see a giant and Sparky combo as well, actually a lot. So I'm not sure what's going on, but you know what, that's fine. I have the troops to stop. So anyway, this was the replay with the Fire Spirits. Again, I replaced the Fire Spirits with the Zap spell because I kind of needed to, and that giant is actually going to be getting slowed down. Look at this, guys. The Princess, 1 more shot, there we go. The minion horde is down, and I dropped my Ice Wizard. Look at that, the cannon still does pretty good amount of damage. It's still good, even though after the nerf, guys. I know it's a viable defense. It's only 3 elixir, and you just can't beat it. I've seen a lot of players use the Tesla and Mortar, and honestly, I really don't care personally much about the Tesla, but as you guys can see, the Hog Rider still does a very good amount of damage, and personally, he is still good. I don't know if people, started using him less. I see that actually more in Arena 8. Not as many people use the Hog Rider. People are trying different Lava Hound decks and everything. But personally, if you stick with the Hog Rider and you know how to use him, the 6% damage decrease is honestly not that much. It's really not a game changer, so you can't use him. He's still a viable option to use, and I freaking love the Hog Rider. So I definitely recommend using him still, even after the nerf. And you know what? Same goes for the cannon, guys. Even though it got nerfed, it's still a very good option to choose for a defense. You just can't beat it for 3 elixir. So Now, I definitely recommend having an Ice Wizard and a Princess somewhere inside the Hog Rider deck, just because you'll need a Princess to take care of minions, Minion Horde, other low HP troops, and the Wizard, I guess the Ice Wizard, to stop big pushes such as like the Royal Giant, the Giants, the Sparkies, and everything. And I do recommend the Zap spell as well, just because the Zap spell pretty much restarts and slows down enemies, and it restarts the, again, Sparky's regeneration from 5 seconds, which is actually pretty neat. So now in this battle, guys, I started to attack the left side just because I knew that if I attacked on the left side, I don't care if he would have, took my right side, I would have had a huge advantage going into overtime. So that is the reason I attacked the left side. And the Hog Rider is still good, guys. Please use him. If you're still good with the Hog Rider, or you really want to try the Hog Rider deck, go ahead, guys. He is still a really good troop to use. He's still very solid even after the 6% damage decrease. I really haven't noticed too much of a difference, maybe a slight difference, but honestly not that big of a deal. Like, I'm a long time Hog user and he's still good. So anyway, if we could smash 50 likes for the video, that would be amazing. You guys can tell me in the comment section below what you guys thought about the Hog Rider, and as always, I'll see you all on my next video.